Alright, so in this next part, we're going to talk about finding slope from equations. Our first part is we're going to talk about slope-intercept form. So when you have an equation in slope-intercept form, it's going to be in the form of y equals mx plus b. So m is the slope, and slope is always just a number that's in front of x. So I'll repeat, m is the slope that is just simply the number in front of x. That's all it is. In my first example, I have y equals negative 7 over 2x plus 3. So going back on what I said, slope is just a number in front of x. So the number that's in front of x is negative 7 over 2. So then simply I just write m equal negative 7 over 2. And then that's it. That would be my final answer, and I'm going to box that up. And again, as you take a closer look, notice how I only wrote the number. I didn't include x in the slope. As I stated before, m should only equal to a number, meaning that there should be no variable whatsoever. So my slope is just a number, which is negative 7 over 2. Equation 2, or example 2, is y equals 6 over 5x minus 4 over 3. So again, slope is just a number in front of x. So my number is this fraction, 6 over 5. Therefore, my slope is just a number, positive 6 over 5. I didn't include the x, just a number. So my final answer is m equals 6 over 5. In this next part, we still continuing on finding slope from equations. So our second part is in standard form. Standard form will look like ax plus by equals c. So to recognize the difference between slope-intercept form and standard form is when you see that your x and your y are on the same side of the equal sign. So in this case, your x and your y are on the left side of the equal sign, so therefore this is in standard form. Now, to go into slope-intercept form to make it easy, all you have to do is just try to get y by itself. So if I'm trying to get y by itself, I need to get rid of this 9x. So our first example, 9x plus 6y equals 7. We want to get this y by itself, which I'm going to underline. If I want to get the y, that means I want to get the 6y by itself. So I must do the opposite of 9x. So minus 9x on the left, minus 9x on the right. So when I do that, this will cancel out. I'm going to have 6y equals 7 minus 9x. Alright, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to flip it to get x to be first. So it's going to be 6y equal negative 9x. Since it's a positive sign, I'm going to write plus 7. Alright, so I'm almost close to getting y by itself. I'm going to divide the number that's in front of y, which is 6. So divide this by 6, and then divide the last number by 6. So when I do that, it will be y equal negative 9 over 6 x plus 7 over 6. Now, first you gotta double check if you can do any simplifying on the fraction. In this case you can. So here, negative 9 over 6, they both can be divisible by a common number, which is 3. So I'm going to simplify this fraction, but not this one because there's nothing in common between 7 and 6. So I'm going to simplify this fraction here. So it's going to be y equal, it's still going to be negative. 9 over 6 will be simplified by a common number of 3. So 9 divided by 3, which will be 3. 6 divided by 3, which will be 2. And then x plus 7 over 6. So there's my slope-intercept form. And again, slope-intercept form is just the number that's in front of x. So in this case, my slope is I'm going to write up here, m equal negative 3 over 2. And that will be my simplified final answer. Now, if you do not simplify your fraction, you will get points taken off because I asked you for the simplified final answer. So, when working with fraction, always check if you can simplify just in case. So in our second example, we have our equation in standard form, which is 4x minus 10y equals 9. So what I'm going to do is I'm trying to get the y by itself, meaning I need to get 10y by itself. I'm going to cancel out the 4x. So opposite of 4x is negative 4x, minus 4x on the left, minus 4x on the right. So I'm going to be negative 10y equal 9 minus 4x. So I'm going to flip to get my x first. So it's going to be negative 10y equal negative 4x plus 9 because it was positive. Now from there, I'm divide by the number in front of y so I can get y by itself. So negative 10 here, negative 10 here, and negative 10 here. So I'm going to have y equal, now don't forget negative divided by negative, this is going to be a positive fraction, so 4 over 10 x, positive divided by negative, so it would be negative 9 over 10. Alright, so from there, since I have a fraction, I must check if I can simplify. In this case, I can. So this fraction right here, 4 over 10, they're both divisible by 2, since they're both even numbers. So, when I simplify the fraction, it would be y equal 4 divided by 2 would be 2, 10 divided by 2 would be 5, and then x minus, nothing in common between 9 and 10, so I'm just going to leave it as the same. So, it's in slope-intercept form, and in order to find slope, it's just the number in front of x. So here's my number in front of x. So my final answer is a simplified fraction, m equals 2 over 5. That will be my simplified fraction for the slope, positive 2 over 5, and my final answer.